Hi everybody, welcome back to Roasted Studios and thank you so much for joining me today for a video. Be sure to hit the like button to show support. Now, in September of 2020, I dropped a video about a YouTuber stalking me and trying to silence me about my hashtag that I created, hashtag #WhatAboutTheAbuse, which exposes 10 years of real abuse online uploaded as entertainment and family vlogging for children to watch. Now, I want you to go ahead and take a look what's going on just 2 months later in November of 2020.
Basically, you were like stalking her and making up stories about her and harassing her. And I don't know if the lawsuit actually says the term stalking, but you know what I mean, right? That you allegedly did all these things. And then other YouTubers came out, one of those being Creepshow, saying that she was being stalked by you, or constantly tweeting about her, right? And now this, and now this. Whew. And you just uploaded 2 videos, maybe 3 videos now, saying, hey guys, I'm sorry to the community. I apologize, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I want to be on everyone's good side. We need to come together as a community. Who's going to be on your side now? Who is actually going to be on your side now? No one. You're going to lose this lawsuit. You might lose your YouTube channel, and you're definitely going to be losing fans. I, on Drama Alert, have to make a video on this. All right? Like, that's how bad this is getting. What is wrong with you? I don't think you're mentally well. I think you need to go get checked out. A lot of people are saying that you were stalking Toddy. I don't know how true this is going to get. Again, alleged. It's not what I'm saying. This is what other people are saying. Don't sue me, bro. But a lot of people are saying that you're stalking Toddy. Like, it became to the point where, like, it was creepy.
Now, here's that same content creator talking about the woman that he's been speaking about. And he says, and I quote on Twitter, "In my opinion, this comes across as creepy stalking. You are not even targeting Tati. You are digging up stuff on family members. Where is the line?" So this person is trying to give you the perception that this woman that he's talking about is creepy, stalking, digging up someone's information on family members, and that she's crossing the line. And this is the woman that he's talking about. And here I am documenting to myself well over a year ago, September 26, 2019, that this woman was in a monopoly with Pickle Boy and his friends so she could help cover up What About the Abuse and the 10 years of abuse brand that I'm exposing, and so she could help distract everybody and change perceptions in the audience while trying to make me look bad. Let's take a look at this email that I wrote to myself so I could document what was happening. Now, I state at some point we have newer channels which gaslight covertly to the point that only I could see their behaviors. I'm supposed to call these channels out only to be told that I'm crazy. I plan to ignore them all until they either stop getting paid to do dirty work for Pickle Boy or until they are told by Pickle Boy to start attacking my channel directly. These channels are the lady that I just told you about and showed you, and there may be more, but I don't watch the community of abusive people as closely these days because I'm too busy getting important information out to the audience, which may help someone else, including children. So Pickle Boy has Monopoly members who have been controlling the narrative of the situation, who profit off of running off distractions and changing perceptions in the audience. And this is all in an effort to cover up the 10-year abuse brand, which I've been trying to expose. Now, the Rewired Soul, he was the first person used and allowed himself to be used in this same scenario a year or 2 ago. And now it's this woman's turn doing the same thing. Now, I documented that she was in the monopoly, as I stated, September 26, 2019, because she was mirroring my channel by talking about narcissism, but she was taking guesses at whether or not she thought Amber Portwood was a narcissist. Now, that was kind of a red flag to me. But then she also said in that same video that monstrous anger was caused by the pills Klonopin, which I believe that she retracted these statements in the same video, but that was a huge red flag for me because there's an abuse brand on YouTube that I've been trying to expose for years, and it's being covered up. And they used real abuse and real outbursts for 10 years, even leaving children in the family in abuse, in an abusive situation around an angry adult, by telling millions of children in the audience that abuse is okay as entertainment and it's okay, period. So she was saying that Klonopin causes this monstrous anger. So taking medication is an excuse as to why abuse occurs, according to her. And there's never any reason for abuse. There's never any good reason to manipulate millions of people into supporting abuse as entertainment, because you think that they can't tell what real abuse is from fake abuse, which is a manipulation unto itself, as is this whole circus and situation and cover up and distraction. It could be in a scary situation to call out abuse and to see 10 years of abuse online packaged in an abuse brand for children to watch and laugh at and consider to be entertainment, when YouTube and Google and a lot of people have made a lot of money off of this abuse brand and people being abusive and hurting one another when they never had to in the first place, because there's such a thing as acting and entertainment and pretending and not hurting each other and telling a story. It could be scary to call this out and have these people that are higher up in power with YouTube clout on YouTube try to give people the perception through hired trolls, give the perception that you're crazy and that you're doing something wrong and that you're stalking and that you're doxing and that you're threatening people and you're doing everything that they're doing to you while you suffer in silence on YouTube. This is the same person who exploited and mocked a mentally ill person just a month before they killed themselves and committed suicide. Please check out my stalker video for more information on that, because this content creator is in that video. And, maybe he's not qualified to stand in his kitchen and give the perception that it's okay to ask what's wrong with a mentally ill person by saying, "What's wrong with you?" Along with telling them, and I quote, they need to get their head checked out. This whole cover-up, this child abuse cover-up, this abuse brand cover-up is the epitome of crazy-making behavior. And, when it came down to asking Etika, when you had him on the stream, if he needed help, when he was in a mental health crisis, you didn't even have the time to ask him abusively, "What's wrong with you? Are you going to get your head checked?" And that's because this person was too busy abusing and exploiting that mentally ill person in his crisis. And this content creator is still acting this very same way to today. Someone else could have been already long gone with this abuse cover-up and with how abusive these people have been. Someone had already died. And this person's still being abusive towards mentally ill people online. And it's okay for him to do because he's a rich white man in privilege. So maybe it's time for this content creator, who's a father, to tell his daughter the sad reality of the world that we live in, which is not everybody cares about abuse. If you have money to cover it up, some will do it. If you can make money off of it, some will do it. And he's a part of it. And he's okay with it. Because it's so cool to make fun of mentally ill people. It's so cool that you can afford cover-ups and waste everybody's time with things that don't matter. Like communicating to me through other people, but only after paying them. And building up their channel with 40 million views. So when it came time to saying these things to Etika, doesn't even know what mental illness is. Didn't even know what was going on. But when it comes time to scapegoating me through another party, through a monopoly member, another enabler, someone needs to get their head checked all of a sudden. Something's wrong with somebody all of a sudden. Someone's stalking, even though this person's in my stalking video. Abusive people can actually create mental illnesses in other people who were mentally sound and healthy otherwise. And this includes children. So maybe you should know that if you want to know something about mental illness or stopping mental illness. You'd have to stop being an abuser first before you can stop the mental illness that you blame people for while abusing them over. There's nothing wrong with being mentally ill. It becomes a problem, and it can become a problem, especially when there's something wrong with people who choose to be abusive, people who choose to hurt mentally ill people, people who choose to be abusive and cause the mental illness to begin with, people who choose to cover it all up, people who choose to hide the truth, which could help other people and end abuse for children, women, men all around the world, which is still a problem that we live with to this very day. And these kinds of people don't want this to end out of their own fear and greed and out of their own viciousness and not caring about other people and not really wanting things to change and blaming people for wanting there to be a positive change. Here's another email that I wrote to myself January 31st, 2020. It states, "It's scary that the monopoly is projecting murder and abuse right now, and that they have been for a bit, and that the angry neighbor gave threats on one of her live streams a few weeks ago. It's a scary situation how they can change the perceptions of the audience in this way. There isn't any reason not to support, but he can get you not to support very easily. I had to turn my back on the WACB situation. I shouldn't have to live my life like a prisoner, having to check up on what she's doing, which is 100% contrived drama to begin with. She will eventually get you to think I am associated with her in some manner, which I am not, and how abusive is that?" On September 29th, 2019, I wrote to myself, "A Monopoly channel you guys don't realize as of yet is WACB. She will be exposing me later on for Pickle Boy." On November 10th, 2019, I wrote, "She explained today Klonopin can make you monstrous and very angry. This is Pickle Boy gaslighting while changing the perceptions in the audience and making an excuse for his father's behavior. This WACB woman is a third-party abuser and troll, getting paid, of course." And on January 31st, 2020, I wrote to myself, "Blank is gaslighting the Monopoly member situation with WACB. All contrived drama, might I add. Something about attacking a woman with a terminally ill child. This is how far the Monopoly will go. Use children to proclaim innocence, make up lies in order to target innocent people, all in a distraction from what about the abuse?" Is this woman giving a negative perception of myself, my channel, and what about the abuse, while causing a distraction for the Monopoly and causing a distraction for the biggest abuse cover-up on YouTube? Watch this video and let me know what you think.
Doing research, you guys. Research, I tell you. Remember how I told you I was going to try to do something where I exposed Tati Westbrook? And I was like looking, and I've been doing this for 2 days straight now. 2 days, thinking I would find something. When I started digging into her background, and I have looked all over the place, you guys, everywhere, because part of what I do is I super chat. What do you mean super chat? You can give me a super chat if you wanted to give me a super chat. But part of what I do is I like to look into people that sell snake oil to see if they have stuff in their background that would make them less than honorable, something that might indicate that they are, you know, there's something legal going on, they have a criminal background, they have a criminal history, they owe money, they have like a reputation for doing all these things. And then when you go to her mother's page or her sister's pages, who are all still there, they're all like, she doesn't exist as a part of their family anymore. It's crazy. I started playing around even more and digging through more and more information, going through marriage records and through birth certificates. I couldn't even find her birth certificate, which is weird. There's like 0 records of her father, like 0 records. So then I start going on and I'm like getting into this conspiracy, thinking like her dad is dead, or like why doesn't her dad have a job, or her dad's in the mafia. So then I start digging through addresses and phone numbers and email addresses and doing all of these searches and going through businesses and looking at all this different stuff to try to like connect some dots.
Now, I want you guys to take a look at these thumbnails I'm about to show you, and I want you to tell me if you think that this woman has purposefully given herself a poor reputation to cover up for the monopoly at a time when the monopoly was being exposed for stalking, doxing, threatening, and harassing myself. You're about to see this Monopoly member show their true colors and intent by dropping their guard and by claiming that it's the smaller YouTuber channels in which YouTube has targeted for harassment and bullying. But that couldn't possibly be correct because it's in fact this woman who's been cyberbullying and harassing me, and she's a part of an abuse cover-up that includes that of an autistic child.
And a lot of people have noticed that other YouTubers will often create or feign drama in order to get views, to get excitement, to build awareness. And it creates this idea that if you have a smaller channel, it's okay to go after a larger channel and attack them to gain some of their subscribers. Sadly, what happened here is that YouTube actually ended up shoring up and tightening rules around creator-on-creator harassment. And this is why we're going to be seeing a lot of changes coming forward, because YouTube does not want to be seen as a playground for cyberbullying and cyber attacks.
When Pickle Boy and his Monopoly member friends need to cover up what about the abuse while scapegoating somebody else, while covering up the fact that Pickle Boy and his father were racist on camera, and the father was innately racist, lies about AGP being in the civil rights, and lies about the angry grandpa even caring about hashtag Black Lives Matter while using the deaths of Black people, including a child, in order to gain money, notoriety, clout, and money on YouTube so Pickle Boy could help pay for his white privileged home that he lives in. They go to their paid Monopoly member friend, this woman. And this kind of behavior always trickles down and affects my channel negatively. It affects What About the Abuse negatively as well. It's a huge distraction, and it's caused purposefully because everything they're trying to say about me or the people that they pay to be a purposeful distraction while they make money, everything they say is true about them. And that's why they're doing it.
I read a lot of psychology today. I don't know why. But I was reading about narcissism because so many people talk about it, and it's really rare. So I wonder why people like say that like everyone has narcissism. It's like a super rare personality disorder that is a result of like childhood trauma.
Hi guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe, and please leave a comment of support in the comments section. Now I have to say, I really feel like these people, and when I say these people, I mean the Monopoly, Pickle, his friends, his enablers, the people in today's video, I really feel like these people don't care about children unless it's their own. It feels like they don't care about women being abused on camera for entertainment, grown men being abused on camera for entertainment, domestic violence, stolen valor, Black Lives Matters, abuse as entertainment for children to watch. These people just, in my opinion, don't seem to care about abuse awareness and prevention. I feel like they don't care about their audience. And if they did, they would have told you guys a long time ago that abuse is harmful. And it has no business being in family vlogging, let alone for 10 years. I get mistreated like this online all the time, every day, even when I'm not online. You know, Pickle owns an abuse community online, and I've lived in abuse my entire life. I know how detrimental it is, and there were things that happened to me in my life that I can't change and I can never change. I couldn't fight back when I was a kid, but I can choose to say something now and stick up for other people, which is what I do. But I've been learning how to put myself first as well and back away when I need to, because there's so much abuse being thrown at me because I have this channel. I'm hoping that this channel will help other people. And that's why the channel exists. Because we're talking about abuse education here. And that's very serious. And that's something that I take extremely serious. I need continued support from my absolutely amazing audience. And thank you so much for doing so. And I need the people that are abusing me online to know that I have nothing against this family. I have nothing against your abuse community. I just want to be left alone to make my videos. And I found out that I have MS this year, along with mental illness, which I've already known about. And MS has a direct correlation with childhood trauma. So if someone has a problem with the channel, you're going to have to convince me why this isn't important. And it's got to be really, really convincing. And it's got to make sense and be important, because I'm going to live less of a life than the average person because I went through childhood trauma. And now I have MS because of it. So this channel is going to continue. It stops when I say so, because it's for awareness and prevention. I can't control what other people say about me, and frankly, I don't care, because none of it is true. Either get on board and start caring, or get busy with more distractions and more lies that aren't helping anybody. And that's the sad reality of the world we live in. But one positive thing is that you can make individual choices yourself. And I choose to stand up for the abused people and the abused children that can't stand up for themselves. After I drop this video, one day after it's been up, there'll be 5 more kids that are dead from child abuse. Because this audience, the abuse community that I'm shoved into, Pickle Boy, all his abusive friends covering this up, they don't want to admit how important this is. They don't want to admit that's an abuse brand. They don't want to admit it's dangerous. They don't want to admit that this is the truth. I'm admitting it. I'm not perfect. The channel's not perfect. But this is important. This is important to me. This is important to a lot of other people. Get on board, because this is part 1 of part 2. And I don't know how many other videos I need to make to get everybody on board to care. But I'm going to keep going until I don't want to go anymore. It's still important. Please sign my petition at change.org called "Please Take a Stand and Remove KidBehindACamera's Abusive Content from YouTube." Only because it's dangerous. And it's not right. And no one's been able to convince me of anything otherwise. And that's why videos like this exist, because this is all they have. Another distraction. I want to leave you guys with a quote from an article called "We Bring a Lot of Baggage to That MS Diagnosis." And it states, "Denial keeps a community from truly being as healthy as it looks on the surface. Families sacrifice the well-being of an abused child to keep the grown-up's reputation intact. Children keep quiet about alcoholic parents and pedophile cousins to keep the peace. Disabled people slip into depression after hiding themselves so as not to burst the bubble of the happy, privileged few. We'd all like to believe that everyone has been dealt the same lucky cards, but it just isn't so. Pulling back the curtain to expose unpleasant truths might tear at the fabric that holds a community together. But a society is only as healthy as its sickest souls. Thank you guys for listening. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and just know that I love you guys, and this channel means everything to me. Please hit the like button, please share and subscribe. Thank you so much. Roasted Studios, out.